Well, this morning has been an eventful morning already here. It's just absolute craziness going on. Kids let the dog out when they went to get on the bus. Neighbor from down the road has a pit bull. Pit bull come up, Omega. He's a German Shepherd Belgian Malinois mix. He's very protective of his area. And of course, a fight breaks out, right? Well, the owner starts coming up the road, and she's dressed in her nightgown and what do you call it, a robe. And she's yelling that she's going to shoot my dog, that she's going to kill him, and all this and that. And I'm trying to break the dog fight up because it's a huge dog fight, which is very easy for me to do. But when you have kids out there screaming, yelling, panicking, not knowing what's going on, because even her kid come running up there to grab her dog, and the easiest thing I did is just walked up and told Omega to sit. He sat down. I hooked the leash to him, but while I was hooking the leash to him, the pit bull attacked him again because it was loose. So we're standing there trying to break him up, and she's threatening to shoot my dog. And I'm like, look, you're on our property. Your dog broke loose and come up here because it was dragging a chain behind it. She said, my dog stays on a leash outside. I said, yeah, I can see it. He's dragging it. It was about a 20-foot chain behind him. Well, it goes on, and I'm just at the point where I'm like, look, she says, if he comes down to my house and he does something, I'm going to shoot him. I said, I understand that. If he does something on your property, if you can't get a hold of me or something, do what you got to do, but you're going to take care of the mess, right? You're going to take care of it. I'm not coming down to take care of the mess. Well, long story short, I was able to control my dog. They was not able to control that damn pit bull. The pit bull, even after I had my dog on the leash obeying commands, kept attacking and aggressing. And you got kids, small kids out there waiting on a school bus. This is just ridiculousness, right? And I'm telling them, control your dog. I've got my dog controlled. My dog is sitting there obeying commands, and that dog is still going crazy. But eventually they were able to drag it. I mean, they were having to choke this dog with the chain to pull it back, half a mile down the road. And I'm like, why does people not train their dogs, right? Number one, if you're going to have an aggressive, I know people that own pit bulls, and not all pit bulls are aggressive, I know that. But if you're going to have an aggressive breed dog, which my German Shepherd, aggressive breed dog, he's mixed with Belgian Malinois, more aggressive, right? You got pit bulls, you got all these other types that are aggressive breeds. I'm not saying all of them's aggressive, but it's in their nature, right? That dog needs to be trained. It needs to be able to be controlled. It needs to understand commands. It needs to hold its commands and everything. I mean, if your dog does not listen to you, you don't have a pet. You got a wild animal is what you have. Plain and simple, it's a wild animal. Was it a bad fight? Huh? There's a lot of snot flying. There wasn't a lot of skin tearing or nothing like that. My dog would only attack when that dog attacked him. But by the time I got out there and got my dog under control, my dog was just calm, cool, sitting there panting and looking at me, waiting on commands. And as I have him sitting there telling her to get a hold of her dog is still attacking, right? So, and I said, my dog, one of the kids said, our dog's still a puppy. She said, that's a full grown dog. I said, he just turned a year old. He's a year old. Because he's big. He's a big dog. He's probably going to wind up being close to 100 pounds, 80 to 100 pounds, and he's about 60 to 70 now. But if you own a dog, you need to make sure you can control that dog in any situation. You need to make sure that dog obeys commands. You need to make sure that you can get it on a leash in an incident like that. I understand dogs fight sometimes. It's just the way it is. They're just like humans. Sometimes the biggest people on the block's going to get together and fight, right? But this is getting to the point now, you got people, I'm going to shoot your dog. I'm like, you're in my yard. You're not going to shoot shit. You're in my yard. Your dog is the aggressor. Your dog come up from half a mile down the road up here, right? Number one, should my dog been out this morning? No, because I don't let him go out. He sits at the door, watches them get on the bus and things like that because he wants to go out and he wants to play, right? And he tries to get on the school bus, so I don't let him go out outside. But eventful morning. Now we got neighbors threatening to shoot dogs, which is just ridiculous to me, Control your animals. If you have an aggressive breed, once again, I'm not saying every pit bull, every German Shepherd, every whatever, Rottweiler, all of them are not aggressive, right? But at any moment they can become aggressive. So if you have one of them animals, you need to be able to control that animal. You have to be able to control them. It's plain and simple. You know, you have to be able to get that dog to come to you on command. You have to get it to be able to make it stop doing what it's doing on command. And it needs to learn that, you know, because you could have a very dangerous situation like them kids out there. If I hadn't have got out there right when it started, them kids could have got in the middle of it trying to pull dogs off, right? And you know what happens when you try to break dogs off a fight. I came out with his leash, told him to sit. He walked back to me and sat down. And I put his leash on him, and he was sitting there, and that other dog was still aggressive, attacking, right? And I'm kind of getting in between my dog and the pit, you know, and I'm like trying to stop the fight that way, and they're yanking and choking the heck out of this pit bull, and it's still coming. I'm like, yeah, you know, these people can't control their dog. And that's plain and simple what it is. If you have a dog, honestly, any dog, you need to be able to control that dog in a situation. You need to be able to. German Shepherds are very loyal dogs. I've never owned a pit bull, but I've heard they're very loyal dogs. So, you know, they can be aggressive at any minute. Any minute. A well-trained dog can become aggressive. And you need a way to be able to control that dog. You need a way to control it. And if you can't control it, you may not need that dog. It may be too much dog for you. Because nowadays, the way the world is, who knows? You know, once the law gets involved in something like this, you know what's going to happen. We got to put both of them down or da-da-da. You know what I'm talking about. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you own an aggressive breed dog, you know, and are you able to control it? Does it listen to your commands? I mean, let me know. Do you? Or do you own any animal as far as a pet, like a dog or something? Does it listen to your commands? Can you control that dog in any situation to the best of your ability? You know? Let me know your thoughts on this. I'm more pissed off today about being threatened, the woman threatening to shoot my dog on my property. All this went down on my property. Dog never left the yard. It stayed in the yard. Their dog come from a half a mile down the road and started it. People nowadays, you know, people. Keep your head on a swivel, be aware of your surroundings, protect yourself and your family at all times. At that moment, you're the only person that can do it. And please, if you have an animal, be able to control that animal with the commands, because stuff can get out of control very quickly when it comes to two big dogs. It's just that way. If you're not able to control the dog, maybe get it some training where you can control the dog. I will say my dog obeys my commands. You've got to train them. It's that plain and simple. Can they break training and not listen to you? Yes. But you need to be able to do the best of your ability to control that animal at all times by commands. So they started off with a Pitbull and Belgian Malinois and German Shepherd mixed fight, right? Ridiculousness. Two protective dogs, one coming from the half a mile down the road into another one's yard, and that just don't make, you know. Goodness. Stay safe, keep prepping.